Hi, I am Jess Calbreth, and I'm the lead counselor on the Caldera High School planning team, and I will be a counselor at Caldera High School next year. I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of you and cannot wait to interact and get to know you guys over the next 4 years as we establish what it means to be part of the Caldera High School Wolf Pack. One of the first things that we need to do before you even come to campus is select your classes for next year. And this is what we call the forecasting process. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. So essentially, we're going to be planning for ninth grade. And while we plan for ninth grade, there also is some planning for the future and beyond. And what I mean by that is there are some things you need to start thinking about as a ninth grader in high school in terms of what classes you're taking so that it aligns with not only your interests, but also your goals that you have for after high school. And the first goal many students have is to graduate from high school. So these are the Caldera High School graduation requirements. And these are something that we talk about consistently throughout high school. So don't worry, you don't need to have them memorized right this second. It is something that we bring up consistently throughout your time as we meet, and just make sure that we're on track for graduation. So you'll notice that there are subject areas that you need to take classes in and then credits that you need to earn. So ultimately you need to earn 26 credits, and then you'll see the breakdown on here as well. So 0.5 credits is 1 semester's worth of a class. So you'll notice for language arts, you need 4.0 credits. So essentially that means 4 full years of a language arts class. Math is 3 credits. Science is 3 credits. You need 1 full year of a world studies course, 1 full year of a U.S. history course, a semester of government, and then a semester of a social science elective or financial literacy course. You need PE for at least 1 year, health for at least a year, and then you need 3 credits of a mix of the career technical education courses, your fine arts, or your world language, and then you'll need a whole lot of electives, 8.0 credits. And then we'll be also completing a senior portfolio, which will be embedded in the credits above through your advisory curriculum at Caldera. So those are the graduation requirements, and you'll see how the classes recommended for freshman year are aligned with those requirements in just a little bit. Just for some of you guys that might have college on your radar, specifically a 4-year institution, here are the requirements for college admissions in the state of Oregon. So you'll notice that some are similar to our graduation requirements, but some may require a little bit more. So you need 4 years of English. Your math needs to be at least through Algebra 2. And you need to take at least 3 years, but 4 years is recommended. And just like math, science is a minimum of 3 years, but 4 years is recommended. And then you need 3.0 credits of social studies met through world studies, U.S. history, government. And then you also need 2 years of world language. So, and those need to be consecutive. So it could be, Spanish 1, 2, Spanish 3, 4, whatever. It works for you. It just needs to be both in the same language to meet the requirement. And then you'll notice that a C or higher in all classes are needed. In terms of graduation, D is the minimum passing grade in our district. However, that won't align with what colleges wants, where you need at least a C or higher to be admitted to college institutions. And then we also offer the honors diploma. I won't get into the nitty gritty of this too much right now, but just so you have it on your radar, if you are interested in an honors diploma, you'll notice that you need at least 4 years of math, 4 years of science, and then the minimum 2.0 credits of a world language. And then you also need 5 of the classes that you take throughout high school to meet the 27 credit honors diploma. They must be either AP or capstone courses. So capstone courses would be the highest level of a pathway. So that kind of comes junior and senior year. So most students decide whether or not they want to do an honors kind of at the cusp of end of sophomore year, beginning of junior year in order to determine that. So next year when you guys are sophomore, we could definitely talk more specifically about your honors diploma plan. And then because you guys are all DI students that are listening to this presentation, I created a 4-year plan, just a generic 4-year plan for the DI program, because you do have some specific requirements, not only to meet graduation requirements, but also to complete your dual immersion requirements and receive your seal of biliteracy. So in 9th grade, you have Lit and Comp 1, you have your physics class, and then you have your DI classes being in math and Historia de las Americas, which is a social science class. And then you'll be taking PE and health along with all the other 9th graders. And then that still leaves you room for 2 full credits of elective. And then in 10th grade, it's very similar. You'll still have your DI classes in math and world history. And then you're still meeting your requirements with English, chemistry, PE, and health, and then 2 elective credits. And then in 11th and 12th grade, you have a little bit more flexibility in your schedule, as you'll just be required to do 2 DI electives. And also your capstone will happen in advisory, along with all the other students at Caldera will be asked to complete a senior capstone as well. So that is a tentative 4-year plan. Obviously, for every student, it may look different. And maybe if you are pursuing an honors diploma, you can check out our example plans that are on our website. And definitely, if you have questions, reach out to me and we can help you troubleshoot what you're trying to figure out in terms of your 4 years at Caldera. Okay, so just to run through your typical freshman schedule, you're going to have your literature and comp class, your DI math, your physics, PE health, DI Historia de las Americas, and then you're going to have 2 elective credits. So that shows you the 5 classes 5 core classes that you'll have, and then your 2 elective classes. So you're going to have some that are required and some that you get to select. And that's where this freshman course selection sheet comes into play. So as you can see, there are a lot of classes listed on here, and how you're going to spend your time during advisory in the next week is figuring out what classes you want to forecast for. And that's what we use to build your schedule for next year. So you can have this sheet linked in the information that we sent out and the information on our website. So don't feel like you need to take a screenshot of this or anything to be able to move forward in the forecasting process. So just some things to highlight on the sheet is classes are broken down by the semester or by full year classes. So you'll notice that, for example, your visual arts, creativity lab, and drawing and painting 1, those are 0.5 credits, so that meets for only 1 semester. And then we have other semester classes or other full-year classes such as physics, which meets for 2 semesters, fall and spring. And then an orchestra class, for an example, would meet for a full year. So when you're inputting the electives, this is good to look at because then you know how many you need, because you need a total of 2.0 classes or 2.0 credits to input. So you would need at least that amount of classes on there to total up to 7 courses. So examples of electives. So we have our career technical education courses, which might include, some of your engineering classes, construction, we have health sciences. We then have our world language classes. So we offer French, Spanish, and hopefully Chinese. We have visual and performing arts classes, and then we have general electives such as yearbook or leadership, where it's just a straight up elective course. And then you can take any core class beyond the requirement. So an example of this might be like AP Human Geography. Well, you guys are taking DI Historia de las Americas. Some of you may be very interested in a social science class and want to take an additional one by taking AP Human Geography. So those are some options for electives. And then we will be asking you to submit additional elective choices. And that is just classes that are backup to your top choice electives. So we create your schedule based on the classes that all students input for, and we try to fulfill everyone's requests, but sometimes we may need to go to some backups to make everything fit into your schedule. So it's super important that when you are filling out your forecasting sheet, that you actually give us some alternates so that we can pop those in if for some reason your top choice electives aren't available with the classes that you're requesting. Okay. So I just went over a lot, and you may be asking, like, how do I even figure out what I should take? So the first thing I would recommend is going through the curriculum guide. So we have a curriculum guide linked on our website that has course descriptions of every single class that we offer at Caldera High School. So that would be a great place to start to kind of get a sense of, what classes are you actually interested in? And then something else you could do is look at our course progression. So on our website, we do have listed all our different ideas for course progressions as you enter into higher level classes. So that might be good to look at just to see, where you start and where you can end up by taking certain classes, because you definitely want to align with your interests. So if you have interests in certain topics and you see those offered in junior and senior year, then you probably want to take those entry-level classes now so that you can make sure you get those classes that you're interested in for junior and senior year. Another thing that you may want to take a look at is your student view. So there you can just double check graduation requirements and just remind yourself of things that you will need over the next 4 years to be able to graduate from Caldera High School. And then finally, we are going to be having a question and answer session with counselor, so with me and Mr. Boyd, to answer any of your questions you may have about forecasting, what classes you should take, course descriptions, and just overall, we're here to support you throughout the week as you navigate this process. We wish we were in person, so we're trying to give you guys as many dates as possible to make sure that you're getting as much support as you need to finish out the forecasting process with us. And some other things you may want to consider is, I did mention the graduation requirements and the college requirements and the recommended pathways, but really just thinking about what you're interested in and what you want to take in high school and what you hope to gain from your experiences in high school. Sometimes it's easy just to take what your friends are interested in, but it's really important that you take advantage of your elective options, your freshman and sophomore year especially, so that you can really start to narrow down your interests and take those higher level classes in junior and senior year. You have being new to high school, you have a great opportunity to just explore because you could take 4 different classes in 4 different subject areas for your electives, technically. So this is a great opportunity to do so that you can kind of figure out what you like and don't like, and then pursue those later in high school. Okay, so just to kind of review the process, and this was sent home to you, just the steps for forecasting. So you're going to review the recommended courses that you have for 9th graders. So that's just our core curriculum that all 9th graders have to take with English, English, science, your DI math, your DI social studies, and then your PE and health. You're going to identify courses that you're interested in, so specifically your elective options. You may want to attend some question and answer sessions with us so that we can help you clarify how to navigate the process as well as just figure out your classes. And then you also want to review with your parents or guardians just to double check that you're all on the same page. And then finally, the last step that you need to do is complete the Google form to submit your official course request. So this is super important. The Google form looks like this. It's linked on this presentation. It's linked on the form that was sent home. It's linked on the website. This is ultimately how you tell us what you want to take in high school when you come to Caldera. So it asks you for some basic information, and it will run through everything, every subject area that you have options in to make sure that we're signing you up for the right stuff. We want you to complete this form by March 29th. And then once you do so, you get a copy of it so you can remember what you forecasted for, and then I get a copy of it, and that's what we put into the system to build your schedule for next year. So you won't stop hearing from us after forecasting because we're going to continue to engage with you. We really want to take some time this spring, hopefully to get some feedback from both students and parents in terms of what you kind of envision at Caldera and opportunities that you would like to see, so we can really start building our culture and campus around the interests of our students. And then in the fall, we will have some orientation to get you guys acclimated to high school. And then you'll look forward to seeing me in your classrooms because I'll be doing some guidance presentations throughout the year that will range in topics, from social emotional learning all the way to just navigating high school, figuring out graduation requirements, study skills, etc. So I'm really looking forward to engaging with all of you. And please let me know if you need anything. Reach out to me. Feel free to ask questions, and I cannot wait to meet you.